All right, it's
Somebody
going
on
live.
Ethereum did one.
Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah,
they sent a
they-
physical
Oh.
asset.
And I think they only went into the stratosphere, right? They didn't actually, like, it was one of those that, like,
like just
the
like
Virgin
right to the
flights.
edge of orbit or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like it never actually, like, from what I remember, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the details.
Well, because remember how they had like those Virgin flights that kind of go up to
Mhm.
the,
Yeah, right to the edge of space on that plane thing that they have.
yeah. And that was, on a thumbstick, I think.
Yeah, it was like a thumb drive.
Yeah. So these are like physical stuff with the asset IDs engraved on them
Mhm.
and printed
And
on them.
science and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
just all around better.
Project Cosmos. The first one was Project Ascension, right? It's
Yes.
live now. I'm just putting in the description.
Cool. Let me grab that link. You posted it on Twitter, right?
I'm about to shortly.
Yeah, I just threw out one on my Twitter.
Okay, I'll retweet yours.
No, mine's not very good. You might want to do a better one. I just
Oh, well, I just added the thumbnail, so I'll see if the thumbnail sticks.
yeah, it pops up. It's there. So
Does it show Project Cosmos, Viper Science? Yay! Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. So we might have Anthony live from Florida. Well, I just added the thumbnail, so I'll see if the thumbnail sticks.
yeah, it pops up. It's there. So
Does it show Project Cosmos, Viper Science?
Oh, wait, hold on. I was on Twitter and I get the audio was coming through Twitter. I'm like, wait a second.
right, yeah, it's like Rick is
Would-
like talking in stereo, but it's things that I heard him say a few seconds ago. What's going on? So
It's a glitch
yeah,
in the Matrix.
I just thought I had a loop back problem, but that was someone else's audio. Okay.
yeah, I thought it was mine. I was like, no, it says it's muted on my.
Well, you know how it
version
does
of YouTube
autoplay
over
when you pull it up on Twitter? So
Yeah,
I got the link from Twitter, but I left the window open on Twitter. And so it like started playing. Wow, Dylan, that is an amazing shot behind you. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, I just pulled that up on the TV real quick.
Oh, it went up on the thing here.
Yeah, it looks like everything's on the launch pad ready to go. was
And
pretty
what would be on the launch pad ready to go?
Well, it's a
Oh, that's
Falcon.
the shot on the cards, right? That we were using. Oh wait.
Yeah, the window.
Correct.
The window. There was like the window. Yeah, I mean it's a Falcon 9 rocket with a Dragon capsule. It's a unmanned capsule. It's on a resupply mission to the International Space Station, taking up a load of cargo.
Now, the real question I need to know is, do they make this Falcon Rocket 9 thing in Lego form?
I don't know. That's a great thing to look up.
I don't think it's a real rocket until it's been recreated in Lego.
That would be pretty sweet. And they do have the Millennium Falcon as a Lego set.
Yes. I wonder if any people out there, Adam, we need a Buffy bot made of Legos now.
Yeah.
well, luckily Sarah is a huge Lego fanatic, so we've got like literally a full closet full of like all the super duper like Star Wars and Harry Potter and everything, and seasonal flowers and everything else in Lego. Our entertainment center is actually seasonally decorated in Lego, so I think we can probably make that happen.
Nice.
So yeah, we're starting to get some people on the live stream. See, we got Egon from Stellar Hood, Dave, Nudes, John from the Morpheum, Jumai. So welcome everybody. We're here. We're going to be watching together the launch, like Dylan was saying, of SpaceX CRS-27, and has something aboard called Project Cosmos. What's that about, Dylan?
Sure. So Project Cosmos is the second of 2 launches that we put together that are physical asset NFTs. So they're physical assets we sent to the space station, and then we have they're paired with an NFT, an ownership NFT. So the first one was Project Ascension. That we can talk about that in a little bit later. That we sent up some titanium plates for an experiment, and then this project that Project Cosmos that's going up right now is a set of collectible cards that have the image of a CNFT, a person CNFT on it, and then it also has a NFC chip on the back that can be read by like a cell phone and bring up the corresponding NFT. And so there's a little bit of technology, a little bit of NFT kind of crowdfunding for scientific research. That's kind of what we're going for with this. So we're doing combining it all into a little experiment to say how well do these NFC chips actually how well do they survive being in the space environment? So the ISS is in low Earth orbit. It's in not the harshest of environments, but it's in an environment that's less protected than on Earth. And so we're going to let these cards go up there with their chips, and then when they come back, we'll test them all and see how well the chips survived being in the space environment. So that's kind of the quick overview.
Cool. And what are you testing for? What's the problem you're trying to solve here? Something about whiskers.
Okay, so Tin Whiskers was the idea that we did with the first launch, which was Project Ascension. So whenever electronics go to space, lead soldering tends to grow whiskers with the tin. There's tin inside the soldering, and it tends to grow these whiskers when it's in micro, like low gravity, no gravity. And so those can actually form short circuits on circuit boards. And so we put a plate of tin, and then we surrounded it with some plates of titanium to see how the whiskering would grow if titanium was next to tin. All of those plates were engraved, and there was 25 titanium plates and 1 tin plate, so there's 26 plates. All of those are actually also an NFT, and they went up last July, I think, and they've been up there up on the space station since then. This capsule that's going up tonight on CRS-27, that Dragon capsule that's going to dock with the space station, it's going to be, when it comes back, the Ascension plates are actually going to be put on that capsule and brought back to Earth. So so that's the thing that we were doing with the first launch. The second launch, again, we were trying to mix like the idea of the NFTs, and then me and my business partners, we work in the space industry, we're engineers, and so we were coming up with, we have sent scientific payloads into space, and we were trying to come up with the ideas of combining the two, research, technology, NFTs, crowdfunding, collectibles, and so that's kind of where this project got started, is just the mixing of all those things. So for this one that's going up today, it's the idea is just these really small NFC chips. They have an antenna and a small chip, and just seeing if the the space environment, how the electronics hold up to that. There can be particles that interact with the silicon on the chips, and that can cause problems in the chips themselves. So it's kind of a simple experiment. It's not a Nobel Prize experiment or anything, but the thing that I think is really interesting about this project is how we kind of show that you can get a group of people together and give them a collectible and give them something that's valuable to them, to actually fund like research and stuff. So these two worlds can mix, and it can mix in a really good way. So I think that's one of the really cool things about this.
And I'll show
so
you.
too.
I have the replicas.
We're
we
T
have for
minus 6
testing.
minutes. I'm going to test audio. Go ahead, Marco. Sorry, I'm just going to be
So-
testing audio.
Here's two of the cards, replicas of the ones that are going up that we did for testing. So you'll see the artwork from the NFTs on the front, and then on the back they will have the QR codes, and the NFC chip is behind the QR code sticker as well. Then it'll also have the codes on there, so you'll be able to take your phone, tap them, and it'll pull up information and all that kind of stuff about these. And so you'll actually end up with the physical cards that went up to the space station as well that match your NFT.
Yeah, good call there, Marco. That was something to touch on, is that so this is a partnership that Marco and I as BuffyBot did with Dylan and the team over at Vipers to combine people's NFTs that they already had on Cardano that were interested in sending their NFTs to space via this kind of crowd-funded mission for both science and collectibles. So it's a really interesting kind of hybrid of the two, I think, where people are getting a keepsake that's actually been to the space station. And it's something that already was important to them and had a lot of value to them in advance by being an early NFT in the Cardano ecosystem. And we're doing science, we're going to space. So it's a really cool kind of merger or blend of a few different facets, actually.
Yeah.
And I see that we've been joined by Anthony, who is our guy with boots on the ground in Southwest Florida, who should have a really good nighttime view of this thing in a few minutes here when we launch.
We're going to hand audio over to Anthony in a minute. Let me check audio here. And it should be switching over to mine.
A few different facets, actually. And I see that we've been joined. And I see that we've been joined by Anthony, who is our boots on the ground with boots on the ground.
How was my audio check there? Did it work okay?
No, it was doing the audio feedback of the.
Yeah, that's because I had to unmute the site. So I got to close it on my YouTube. And let me try it one more time. Ready? All right, because they're going to be launching shortly. It's launching shortly. One more try, and then we'll check with Anthony.
The launch is going to go pretty far.
Yeah, we're like T minus not much longer.
Okay. Didn't you? You had a Project Cosmos card done, right, Rick?
Hold on, let me check. Yeah, I do. I'll tell you in a sec. So I got to close it on. How's the audio? And let me try it one more time. Ready? All right, because they're going to be launching shortly. It's launching shortly. One more. Did my audio work okay? Did it feedback?
I was still hearing what sounded like what was coming from the YouTube feed.
Okay, I'll just leave the video up here.
Yeah,
and I'll leave it muted. So I got it muted. So, Marco, you asked me, what do I have going up? I have a Space Buds going up.
Nice.
And I have a Cardano City going up. I got my Cardano City 1607, I think it is going up there. Yeah. How about you? You got something going up?
I have some Space Buds, some Buffy bots, and I had one that we kind of screwed the artwork up on. Good thing it was mine was the only one that it happened on, but it was a pretty.
Yeah, cool. Ironically, we didn't find that typo until today when we went to go and review them. But unfortunately, Marco bought one of Zigor's pieces. That's really cool. It's like a astronaut floating up towards like the Oculus of like I think it's like the Hog Sophia or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's called the Dome, and it's a really beautiful piece of art. And when we updated all of the NFTs that represent the Project Cosmos passengers, we updated Marco's with the back of the card instead of the front on accident. It's the only one in the entire set that it happened to. And we went, oops, we found it today.
And it was the one I wanted. Like I bought that card special, or that NFT special from Fran. It was like an auction thing, and I'd won it, and So I'm a little bummed about that, but we'll figure it out.
Well, something neat as part of this, because our, these are native assets on Cardano NFTs. So they're minted under a regular SIP 25 native script policy. And so the policy locked back in November. So I've been doing some thinking, knowing that we weren't going to get to launch until a day like today in the future, about how we can maybe update the metadata in the future to provide information like the dates that these cards have launched, when they come back, maybe any science that we've learned from them. So that's going to be something that I'll be experimenting with from a kind of metadata perspective. But it looks like we got just over a minute to go before liftoff here, and everything's looking good.
Yeah,
ready, Anthony?
One of the things we did was we added an extended metadata field for a second NFT mint, so that we could add more info and stuff as one way because it was about to close. So we can add the actual photo and stuff to that and link it in that way probably.
Yeah, that way we'll have also it'll pull up all of the when it was launched, when it came back, how long it was up there, any kind of details and stuff out of that in there as well, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, we're at T minus how many seconds? We're at T minus 30 seconds. Anthony, can you share your screen also? And can we hear you? Anthony is
Can you guys hear me?
Is local.
Yeah.
I can hear you. We're T minus 20 seconds.
Can you guys see my screen?
It's very black.
No, it's black.
It looks very dark there.
But
I think that's probably the idea when you're trying to get a shot of a rocket launch.
Outside.
That makes it easier to see the sky, I've heard.
And here we go.
3,
Stand by for liftoff.
2, 1.
Oh, there it goes.
Rocket now on its way.
Oh man.
National Space Station.
Cardano NFTs in space. Cardano NFTs in space. Ladies and gents. Let's see if we can see it on Anthony's phone.
Can you guys see me or the other side of my camera? I can't see my own screen.
Turn it around. I just see I see a white glow and some blackness, but we're looking at the rocket. Try flipping it.
Full max Q thing.
I think I'm seeing you.
No, I think that's the that might be the rocket. It's just a really
I can see.
There you go.
That is
there it is.
You
can see it.
So we have liftoff, and then what is max Q, and then
That's right.
There they go. Cardano NFTs going to the moon. Almost, not quite the moon, but as close as we can get for now.
Yeah, just shy. Starship should be doing some testing later this year, and then we can work on the.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So if we let Ant talk,
hey, I have faith, Anthony. But yeah, you go ahead and
Anthony,
talk,
you talk and tell us what you're
big.
seeing on the ground.
It already went black. There we go. It's lighting back up again. The second booster went on. I don't know if you guys can see it way up.
Was that the max Q thing?
Make sure you let Ant talk, or people can't see it.
Yeah, I think max Q is like it's the maximum speed at the lowest altitude. It's like the most pressure on the vehicle.
It's pretty cloudy tonight.
I can still see a little dot where you can see like it lighting up in the sky there. It's pretty cool.
The really cool thing is when you see it coming back, the landing, if you're close enough to catch that, especially if it's cloudy.
Yeah, you can hear I can definitely hear the boosters come back during the day. I'll see at night if I can see any of them coming back.
I like the change in colors from the rocket there. Now it's like a deep red.
Back up again.
What do you mean you see the boosters coming back? You see them burst into flames as they re-enter the atmosphere?
No, they have the recoverable boosters, and so they separate from the rocket body. I could just see them separate now. So you see there's two different, you guys probably can't see it, but there's two different balls of light now. And the boosters now came off of the rocket and they're coming back to Cape Canaveral to land.
Yeah, they're going to land and be reused for another launch.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't. It's pretty cloudy out tonight. I'm surprised they did a launch.
Well, hopefully you can see the burners from the booster when it gets
Wow, look at
it
that.
gets really close.
What
So it
is
got
that?
up to what?
What is that?
7,500 now miles an hour or kilometers an hour.
There goes your NFTs.
What's the altitude kilometer wise to break Atmo or whatever?
And what speed do they have to hit to go into orbit?
I'm not sure. It depends on the altitude.
Yeah.
Because right
Of the
now we're at
orbit.
122 altitude, 81,000 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Is it between like 16,000 and 25,000? I think 25,000 is to escape. It's a lot. It's fast. So right now it's at 3,000.
Well, the
So
speed's
Falcon 9
definitely
is so quiet.
the stage 1 is 3,000 kilometers an hour on its way back. Stage 2 is the payload, which is already up to almost 9,000 kilometers an hour and starting to climb pretty rapidly. So
It's the one on the right, Rick.
Yeah. Can you see that on your screen? Okay. I'm checking it on YouTube. It looks good over there.
yeah, we could see the whole the screen share that you have going. So
The
yeah,
more-
but you could see on the left hand side, that's the booster working its way down, and then that's where I saw one here in Western Arizona landing in Edwards Air Force Base because it was real cloudy, and I was driving home one night, and I swear that I thought aliens were attacking or invading because there was this light coming down slowly from the sky, and it would flare and light up all the clouds and everything. And I was like, what the hell is that thing? And so I actually stopped and like called my wife, and I was like, go outside and look and just like prove that I'm not having a stroke or something. Like, I don't know what's going on here. And then we found out later that it was actually a night launch in California that we didn't know about. But yeah, so that was, several hundred, if not probably close to 1,000 miles away to Edwards there.
But you can
We're
see
over
clearly
11,000 kilometers an hour right now.
Damn.
the fastest NFTs on Earth, not on Earth.
Yeah, they're no
What's
longer
the-
on Earth. So
What's
the Morpheum
the,
said
what's the TPS for that?
17,500.
What's
Yeah,
the
what's that?
TPS for that?
Damn,
Yeah.
that's a lot of TPS. Oh,
Yeah.
Guys, I can tell
Yeah.
you these Falcon 9s are so quiet compared to the other rockets. You don't hear any sonic boom, nothing. You barely hear the rocket go up anymore. The older rockets used to rattle the house, but these are much, much quieter.
Maybe you can answer this question for us. It's one of our most pressing questions that we have of the night. Do they make a Falcon 9 rocket in Lego form?
I have no, I'm sure they do. I don't know. I'll go up to Kennedy Space Center and see if I can find one.
yeah, that's your new mission.
Mission
So
control to Anthony.
I looked it up, and apparently there's a like a proposal for one on Lego Ideas.
Yeah, I think with Lego, somebody has to like build it and prototype it and
Yeah.
then submit it, and then people actually vote on it, and whichever ones get the most votes is the next set of
Yeah.
kits that they make or whatever, assuming there's no licensing issues and stuff like
It's
that.
it's got 10,000 supporters, but it's not yet approved.
They do have an international
our,
space station, right?
Yeah, they do have a ISS one, but the it looks like the booster's getting ready to land. It's at about 6 kilometers and dropping pretty quickly there. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see that that booster rocket come down for yet another fully automated landing on the drone ship, which is pretty darn cool.
wow. Hey, wait, I got to give a shout out to Willie. That's Willie Marchetta. How do I say his last name, Dylan?
Yeah, that's right.
Willie
Willie Marchetta.
Marchetta he wasn't able to make it with us tonight because he's working. So is it related to this, Dylan? Or,
No.
Okay, but it's a space thing.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But are we
I
gonna
like your
break
shirt, Dylan, by the
20,000
way.
kilometers an hour and altitude 200 at the same
Look,
time.
there it made it. Look at that. They're
There you
getting
go.
good at this now.
It landed. Tell us
awesome.
about that, Dylan. What's going on?
So they reuse the boosters, and it flies itself back down, and an inverse they call it like an inverse pendulum problem, where you have thrust at the bottom of a structure. That's really a really difficult problem to solve, and so I'm still amazed that they get it to work. But yeah, and that so now that can be reused, and we don't have as much stuff being wasted every time. So that's
is
great.
the rocket going almost sideways now, because we're at 197 kilometers, right? But our speed is still almost 27,000 kilometers.
Yeah. You don't go like straight out. You go in an arc.
There it is.
When you're launching.
So now we're gonna stay at this 197 for a while until.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So the ISS is about 400 kilometers. So it's gonna loop around the Earth, as it increases, and then eventually it'll meet up with the ISS. But they'll both be traveling at like 28,000 kilometers per second, but they'll just be like floating relative to each other, right? Because they're both moving. But that's how fast they have to be moving in order to not fall back to Earth.
All I'm picturing is Einstein's theory of relativity, where like the train is moving and the kid's bouncing the ball or something inside the train.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is like a scene from Fast and Furious, right? Well, like, so you have the two things traveling fast at the same time.
Right.
You can do things in between each other because they're going at the same speed, right?
Right. Usually, you have wind when
Is
you're
that
on
the payload?
two trains, but yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
That looks like a payload to me.
Yeah, I think if I was reading the captions right there, that was a view of the payload inside of the Dragon capsule. And I think they said we're getting close to ready for second stage separation, where the Dragon capsule itself will separate now and booster again to get up to that final orbit with ISS, it looks like.
So for people who just joined, what is in that payload? What are the NFT things in there? What's happening?
Yeah, so I probably should have posted a link to our Medium post, but there's a stack of trading cards basically that have people's NFTs printed on them, and an NFC chip where you can like scan your phone. Marco's got some example ones right there in the case that we're going to put them in when they get back. So it's a box. It's about 6 inches tall, all wrapped in Kapton tape, and that's basically what our payload looks like. That's tucked away in there.
And when they come back to planet Earth, you're going to do some kind of testing on it. They're doing testing while it's up there. You're going to do some testing down here, and then you're going to ship them out to people.
Yeah, we're going to test them with like the NFC chips to make sure the readers all still work when they come back, and then we'll hopefully be able to let people pick them up at CNFTCon. But we'll see when they come back. That's the thing. I'm not 100% sure when they will come back. It could be after CNFTCon this year.
These things are very fluid. Oh, there's a separation, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that a manned flight?
No, this isn't a manned flight.
Okay, so it's at 26,998 kilometers per hour. That part that just separated is that the guy that's going to meet the space shuttle, and the camera we're looking from right now is going to burn up in the atmosphere, or is that the thing that's going to burn up in the atmosphere?
I think that's the thing that's going to burn up in the atmosphere.
Okay, so bye-bye thingy.
Yeah.
Anthony, tell me if you can see that from your house. No, it's on the other side of the planet. Never mind.
Yeah, it got away from Anthony pretty darn quickly. So, they don't call it escape velocity for nothing. Rick. It's actually just trying to get away from Anthony.
Now it's trying to go home. And so where the camera's looking at from now is the vehicle that's going to go meet with the ISS.
Yeah, I think so.
And they're going to dock it with some remote controls and then bring the NFTs on board the ISS for some period of time. It'll be hanging out up there with the astronauts. Pretty
Well,
cool.
we can take the Project Ascension, for example.
Nudes just said token burn.
Hopefully
Yeah.
not. Hopefully not. People may or may not know that there are Hosky cash grab NFTs included as part of the payload. And if you watched some of the results of like Hosky putting a sticker on a race car, we were really nervous about what the outcomes would be of having a shitcoin on board, but it looks like everything's smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, there was over 210 of these that went up. So
Yeah, I think it was just over 210 and a ton of different projects. We've tried to tag them all in some of the promotion and talk about this launch finally happening. But it was all largely from the community that bought these cards to send their owned NFTs to space. Some projects, bought for themselves to send their project up as well. But I think there's even one where somebody back in the early days made an NFT of proposing to his probably wife by now, or if not, at least fiance. Hopefully they're still together. But yeah, I think one of the cards is actually, a photo of them with like a "Will you marry me" on it. So it's pretty cool that people have been able to document this and have this shared experience while we do science, and all through NFTs. It's really neat. And yeah, people are going to own them. We're hoping, like Dylan and Marco said, to maybe have them by the CNFT cons. You could pick them up in person. If not, we'll have to figure out shipping them out to everybody or some other way to get them to people. But yeah, if you got the NFT, you're going to get the physical card that went up to the space station today.
all right, so I'll go down the list to see some of the cool. So somebody set up their Pavia plot.
Wow.
Coordinates, so their Pavia location. We have some unzigged zombie chains, a bunch of space buds, Cardano bits, Dinoverse, roll eggs, a Hosky cash grab, goat tribe, shrouded object, Cardano kids NFT, original one number 69. I think that's Kaizen's some zombie chain, Ada monsters, another Pavia, goat tribe, lucky planet, Cardano city, that's yours, Rich. Ada card, Ada doll, Hyper Skull. Is this an NFT? I think that's from Patrick. I think it was one of the first ones that they minted in Maker, probably, I think. Joseph Miranda. There's a poem that somebody did, a Benjamin Pick poem, a Yumiverse Clay Nation, Bison Head, Crypto Nitties, so the Nitties, Cardano Crocs, Legacy CNFT Con, or Cardano Orcs, sorry. The Cardano Keys, there was a special edition Cosmo Nitty.
Yeah, there's I think 4 or 5 of the special Cosmo edition Nitties that we bought on the Nitties team. That those Cosmos have now been airdropped out to people, and the ones that have it are going to get the cards when they come back. So,
Space Coins Bud, Good Charlotte Clay Nation, Toon Squad, Token, Stellar Hood, Ronin Universe. Somebody sent their Berry Blue up.
There's an 8 handle going up, Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, the 8 handle, Allah Akbar.
And someone in the chat, someone said there is a family tribute NFT to a young son who passed away. It's very touching. That was from Nudes.
I think that was the poem one too, right? I think that might have been, there was a poem with it.
Yeah, I think I remember the poem was written to commemorate the young child that had passed. And so that was their kind of legacy for the kid. So
There's the Forgotten Space Squad, Space Ape, Cardano Buds, Dracno, Will You Marry Us? Tracks Merge.
Did you get Cipher Kicks and Zombie Chain?
Got a Zombie Chain, yeah. I'm still going down. I haven't got to Cipher Kicks. Crypto Keens. See the Rocky Man Deep Vision. I sent up one of the Deep Vision that looked like an astronaut. That was one of the first AI ones, right? Some Herkimers, Muse, Monstrosity, Nomis, The Return, shout out to Jeff. The Abyss. Did I miss a Cipher Kicks?
I'm seeing it on JPEG.store. There's a Cipher Kicks listed on Project Cosmos. So go to Cosmos link. Either that is for sale. What? Someone's selling it. Don't flip it. Wait till it comes back. But there's, yeah. I'm seeing most of the ones that you said listed here.
yeah, but and so unsig 0, the initial, the all black, the unsig that actually has the Python script for generating all the unsigs as part of the payload as well.
Oh, damn. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I threw a link to our Medium article in the chat, in the YouTube chat. It's got a lot of the info about the project, the number of cards that went up, and some of the timeline of the project. It's also got a little video of us scanning an NFC chip with a phone, so you can kind of see that, how that's going to work. So definitely check that out with your questions.
Yeah, and shout out to Cardano Nudes. He's been in the chat this entire time since we launched the live stream, but he actually set up a gallery page on his the Alexandria project, which is all about documenting the history of NFTs and putting a bunch of cool stuff on chain and documenting kind of the history. He made a whole page for us that has all of the Project Cosmos cards on them, because some of them, I guess, earlier today, JPEG.store still had the old placeholder that we were using. So he just went to work and made a cool gallery for us. So shout out as always to Nudes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for
everything
that.
you do.
And hopefully we get them back in time for CNFT Con so people can pick them up there.
Yeah, and if we don't, the first project, I think I mentioned this earlier, but the first project we sent up, the metal plates, those are coming back on this same dragon capsule. So we will have those for anyone that wants to buy one of the Ascension tokens. We'll have those, be able to have those at CNFT Con this year. So that's exciting.
And it's kind of you're doing like on JPEG.store, right, where they're listed, and the higher it goes, like the lower the number, it goes up.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a mint in the sense, like the price goes up or whatever, but it's just, there's only 25 or 26. And I think we're only making available like 20 of them to actually be bought. So they're available on JPEG.store. You can buy them. They're going to be kind of, the idea is that they'll be kind of specialized, collector's item. They're going to come with like a shadow box kind of thing with the actual metal plate inside there. So it's gonna be something you put in some sort of a collector's case, and have a piece of metal that that went to space. So that's kind of what we're hoping for those.
Yeah, and so just like the berries, the Ascension plates kind of came and nobody knew about them, and so they were technically the first Cardano NFTs to go to space.
Yeah.
This is the first crowdsourced NFTs, Cardano NFTs in space. So
Kind of wanted to make sure that it was possible before.
Yeah,
right,
it
yeah,
was-
we had to do a proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
And then we could roll it out. So
Yeah, it was like the test run kind of thing. So it's a limited supply and a much smaller supply, but yeah. So
that's really
first
cool. So
ones
I saw a question in the chat. I think it was from John from the Morpheum asking the whiskers that grow on the tin. Is that like just an extension of the tin molecules rearranging themselves, or is it like something new from outer space that shows up and we're not really sure where it comes from?
Yeah, it's not something new from space like growing on there. It is a property of the material, but I don't know a lot about it. That's not really. I'm not a material scientist, so
Maybe Anthony, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
You know a lot about the tin whiskers and all that stuff, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
I
no,
thought
that's
you did
like,
for some reason.
yeah, that's out of my wheelhouse there.
See, this is why we need Willie, and it's unfortunate that he was on the
Yeah.
road traveling and working.
Yeah.
Well, let's Anthony. Why don't you tell us what you think of this whole thing and the concept? Because you've been dealing with a lot of this stuff going up to the space station, and you've worked on a lot of stuff that's gone up there into space. But what do you think about the combination of this and Cardano and the NFTs?
I think this is pretty rad. It's a pretty cool concept. It was cool. I got to see it go up into the sky. That was neat. I don't know. It's fun. Who came up with the concept to do this?
So it was kind of a group effort. Me and a couple of friends came up with kind of some of the initial ideas, and then I think we talked to Rick, who eventually we were talking with him about it. And he said, talk to like Marco about this stuff, and then we had a conversation with Marco, and he was like, oh, well, we could do this and we could do that, and so I think it was out of that these two ideas kind of grew, and we kind of formed the two separate ideas. The one to send the plates up for a first launch and sort of a rare collectible, and then to do the crowdsourced where everybody could get involved kind of thing. And so it was a mixture of a lot of stuff, a lot of people talking. We did put timelines together on our on those Medium articles. So if you guys want to read them, you can kind of see like when we started talking and conceiving the idea, and then we did the mints and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest lessons I think me and Adam have learned over the last couple of years with minting stuff is stop limiting stuff to 1 year in 6 months
or 30 days or all the other like really stupid short policies that
policy ID. We backed
made
ourselves
that
into
we went
so many
shit.
corners.
Now we want to go and update them or change things or keep selling them, and yeah, then you can't because you're locked out. So it is one of the limitations when we're talking about Cardano NFTs and using simple native scripts specifically is you got to time it right. Or like I've seen some projects do create like 1,000-year policy, so it's might as well be an open policy, but it still technically has that date that it's going to expire. But
yeah,
isn't there a trade-off to that where you say, well, if it doesn't expire, you can do something to change it, but if it does expire, then it's permanently locked? What's the trade-off there?
Yeah, so the trade-off there is largely philosophical, but essentially maybe not in a post-quantum world. We're not really sure what that's going to look like, but the idea is that as long as the policy is still open and unlocked, whoever has the key could potentially change the token, change the asset underneath. So there's a concept of, can it truly be non-fungible if there's still a lingering doubt and the project owner could rug pull it and remove the image. They could mint a
Swap
duplicate
images.
and make it a fungible token. They could change it to a bunch of poop emojis. So is it really a locked in, non-fungible, non-changing token at that point? So like I said, it's largely kind of like philosophical, depending on how you view it and your perspective on the world.
Like,
But yeah,
let's say I had
that's
the
a major
Dino
concern.
Space Bud, right? Rick,
You know-
and you had a cat Space Bud, right? And if I had the keys and the policy was open, I can swap us.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, you end up with the Dino and I end up with the cat, and
Yeah.
you're like, why is it different in my wallet today?
So as long as it's easy for people to understand what they're getting when they get their NFT, like, so we're talking about JPEGs right now, but these could be licenses. These could be, near field chips that returned from outer space, and you want to make sure you have the original or the unique one or something like that, because it has trading value or it has your identification in it, and you want to make sure someone doesn't change that, like turn you into Mario or something when your name isn't Mario.
Well,
And
there was a
yeah,
project
so-
the other day that I noticed, because you know how on POPM they do everything by the mint date, it's kind of right. And so all of a sudden I had one folder of my NFTs that were minted almost a year or so ago, all of a sudden showing as the newest ones because they updated the metadata. And so they were now a new mint date of like 2 weeks ago. And I didn't even know about it. It just happened, I think, and they did it because I think they were updating some other stuff to work with a new drop and stuff. So they wanted to update and clean up the original. So you have to trust that the project is,
Yeah. And I'm not trading my Space Bud in. When that bad boy comes back from space, I got a Space Bud up there, and it is what it is forever.
and the whole
That's how it
card.
is.
Maybe
It's
you
not
actually
gonna
get some value on your Cardano City
Yeah.
now.
yeah, in the
Right.
Cardano City. I still have some hope for Cardano City. I think that Cardano City it's like, to me, it's like a Skylab. It's up there circling the Earth in space, and eventually Cardano City, they've got some beautiful work there. And I've noticed, I looked closely at it, and I'm like, those are actually 3D objects that they made inside there, it looks like. And I'm like, they're actually gonna I think they're gonna pull a rabbit out of their hat. That's just me. I think they're gonna pull a rabbit out of their hat.
I
Let's
also
put my
saw
money where my
somebody
mouth
say
is. So I was literally on JPEG.store last week buying Cardano City. So I'm like, oh, this guy listed that for 108 and it starts with the 10. Oh man, that one's worth 105 ADA. I'm gonna get that one.
There you
That's
go.
worth 5 ADA more than what he listed it for. So I'm
You
gonna get
heard it
one.
here first. Rick is fully committed to Cardano City. So
Well, I saw on the list. too, there
I'm
was
like a
Hoskins
freaking
in.
slumlord on Cardano City.
well, that's
there was
good because
Hoskins
I
in.
totally missed that mint. So if I need a place
Oh.
to stay, I know who I'm gonna hook
Oh, you
up.
want some? I'll go on JPEG.store right now and grab you a handful of them. You
I
can be a
got
slumlord
two,
with
I
it.
think. But
You got two?
Yeah.
They're easy. They're still pretty good picks out there. Cardano people are the nerdiest motherfuckers out there. Just stay nerdy, okay? Stay nerdy. I checked Twitter. I was going to see if there's anything else from SpaceX, right? I took the stream down. Okay, they're back up. The stream is back up again. The screen said docking at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, I don't think we're going to be live streaming for the next 2 hours because there's going to be nobody left watching. Okay. So the docking is in 2 hours.
Yep.
Okay. Right now, it's a bunch of people sitting around computers, just like us sitting around computers. And so I'm checking. I'm like, okay, is there anything going on Twitter related to the launch? Right. And so there's a tweet from Kenrick and Nin said, we just deployed quadratic funding on mainnet on Cardano. Quadratic funding voting API is also done. Now connecting Sybil resistance. And I'm like, yes, Cardano's got the best freaking nerds. Hell yeah.
well, I was actually having this debate, or I think I was actually talking to Anthony, and I was talking to a few people about this, how I think our approach to the greater crypto world, I know, Rick, you're like Cardano number one, right?
Yeah, damn right.
But I think because of the fact that we're still early, right? I think we have to kind of to teach people that really it's more of a live test net where you can actually build on Cardano slowly, like you don't have to worry about, and you can kind of build with the community as you go and not have to worry about a lot of the external forces and stuff that some of these other chains have to deal with, because they grow so quick and then leave just as quick as they came. Like I feel like Cardano's that ball that's just a rubber band ball that you're just, so everybody's just adding the rubber band and the ball is just getting bigger and bigger. But like if you think about it, like if you're creating a company, you're testing like your DeFi stuff, right? You have a really good core of technical people, consumers, market people that can grow with you, that could you build stuff and you can change things without a lot of people, you know, chirping in your ear and doing this and crashing it. Like you can kind of grow as the adoption for crypto grows as well, and like parallel with it. Where I think a lot of other chains, you know, suffer from, oh, we're a DeFi project, everybody jumped into us, started doing this, and all of a sudden we don't know what to do, and all of a sudden, poof, we're gone.
Poof, who's gone?
I would just, you know, if you think back to a lot of the projects and chains and stuff, you know, over the years that kind of came and then went because they grew too fast and then didn't know what to do because the peer pressure or the to get things done or maintain a floor or maintain some kind of whatever was overshadowed because they really didn't have a plan for step 2 or step 3, because that stuff takes time to develop, right? Like you can have an initial idea, but then you have to follow up on that idea and keep building on that idea. And if you grow too quickly, you can't do that, right? But because you're already passed up with somebody took your idea, then already came up with a stage 2 and they recreate it and poof, now they're the big guy and you're gone, right?
Yeah,
At
I'm
least
with
on
you.
Cardano, you can build and you kind of grow. You don't ever really have that giant, I guess, take off and then be stuck and then
There's still plenty of room to grow without a bunch of other people sniping your ideas, right? But at the same time, what I would suggest for Cardano users and degenerates is through the next year and into 2024 is watch for projects that launch with an MVP. Watch, you know, and not a big MVP, just a functioning basic, you know, just a basic MVP. Launch with that. And I would not, by 2024, just me personally, I would not be messing around with any project that's just launching a promise and a pitch
trust
deck.
me, bro.
Like, I've had enough of that from Ethereum in 2017, 2018, 2019. I'm sorry, guys. That's kind of run its course already. And so Cardano's got a lot of good, fully operational underlying infrastructure. And I've seen some really good tweets lately from people who are users of multiple chains and saying, yeah, this was kind of rough over on these other chains, but on Cardano, this is working pretty good. That's from a user perspective, not from the engineer, developer, deployer perspective like you guys.
Well, like I said, it takes time to develop a business and to develop a plan and to then educate people about your project, right? And then move forward. And you can't really do that if all of a sudden you're like the hottest project on the block this week and everybody's focused on you and you're asking you, what are you going to do? And you're like, well, I haven't had a moment to catch my breath to tell you or map it out. And things change, right? Like, look at how much NFTs have changed since day 1 of Cardano until now. Now you need like utility, you need this, you need that. Regular collectibles is not really a thing, you know, like you need to be able to pivot and change and grow with the technology at a rapid pace, but at the same time, do it at your pace to where you can do it right. And I think that's what Cardano allows people to do, right? It allows you to build and grow at an actual realistic pace, right? And I think that these projects will be able to build and be able to grow and stuff on Cardano, and they'll be here in the long run, right? Like if you're building on Cardano, you can be rest assured that your project can be around for 10, 15, 20 years and not worry that all of a sudden Cardano is going to be gone or it's not going to be like Solana or this and that, and all of a sudden it's down this week, or like what just happened to Hashgraph, where they just basically shut the thing down and they're like, you know, we got to make some tweaks, right?
I was really surprised when I saw that. They said they turned off some proxies and I'm like, what? And they shut down the chain? What?
And if you're building your company, right, you can't have that kind of stuff happen if you have things that are relying on it, right? That's why I said it's almost like a live functioning testnet in a sense. I mean, it's live, it's thing, but I mean, it's you're dealing with real people's money, and real people's assets and real people's stuff that, it's a responsibility.
But bringing it back to our assets there, One Trippy Planet was in the comments asking any chance that the radiation from being up there in space could mess up the NFC chips and what the data is that's encoded on them. Is that part of what we're testing, Dylan?
Yeah, that's the point. That's what we're going to test. So that's a great question.
All right, awesome.
So if they get destroyed while they're in space, you'll be formally verified wrecked on your.
Yeah.
And maybe only the ones on the
on
outside are wrecked, right? And there may be some ones that are like
Right, yeah, the one like that's right in the middle is actually still good because the ones on the outside buffered. Maybe we're gonna
the wrecked variants.
We'll know. We'll get all that data, and I have, like I said, in the Medium article, I have a link to the white paper we put together for NASA. So you can read through that and kind of see a little bit more about the actual experiment part, because we had to put that together for them. But yeah, I think you kind of actually would want them to not work when they came back. That would make it a little more rare, right? Like, hey, mine's the one that broke. This is actually malfunctions because of radiation. It was in space. So.
And you tested each one before they got passed, right?
Yeah, we tested all of them. Yep.
So they were functional before they went. So I mean, so yeah, you have to actually like do a pitch deck to NASA, like give them a white paper on what the science you're doing is.
Yeah, we had to give them like a 2 or 3 page technical paper. See the links in that Medium article. I can share the link to if I find it. I'll grab it and share it in the chat.
Yeah, just launching stuff into outer space is not something that us normies do very often. So it's kind of fascinating to get a little peek behind the curtain of how this whole thing works.
Yeah, we're lucky to have rocket scientists laying around like Dylan, or space engineers, PhD space engineer level guys. Dylan, I'll go ahead and throw the link in the chat as well to the article, because I don't know if yours is letting you. I didn't see it show up earlier.
Oh, okay. I dropped a link in there. I don't know if just now under.
Is it the Lego one? I see ideas.lego.
Oh no, that was in the I put that in the
He's
Zoom
doing
chat.
it in the chat on YouTube.
I put it.
I don't see it in the YouTube chat either. I think the guy who runs that YouTube channel gets auto deleted.
Oh,
that's yeah. It looks like probably got no links in the comments on the chat or something. Because I just see the paper arrows up, but no link there.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, Rick can add it to the description or something as well, so it actually persists a little better there.
That's a good idea.
All right, Rick, how much time we got left with you? Is about wrapping it up?
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. I'm going to grab that link to Viper Staking Team. I'm going to post the link to the article on Medium with the experiment so that people can check that out. And
I'll send it to you, Rick, too, and if you don't have it.
No, I did. I have it.
I just there
posted
you go.
it.
Yeah.
So I think what was happening, it was auto deleting it. All right. And I think we're good to go. So I'm going to wrap up so that people can watch this again later if they would like. Our friends over in Europe, it's very late. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So maybe they'll check out a little bit of the video tomorrow when they get up. And
if you're up and about, you can tune in to the SpaceX Twitter or YouTube for CRS 27 and watch docking in about an hour and 45 minutes. We should be docking with the ISS.
Yeah. Then
perfect.
Yeah, we should see when it comes back too. That should be fun.
Yeah, and don't forget to get your tickets to CNFTCon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
CNFTCon.io.
Tickets are on sale now. So yeah.
CNFTCon.io. Go check it out. And I hope it's a blast this year. Oh my gosh. CNFTCon was so freaking awesome. Holy crap. It was great. I loved it. And you guys are awesome. I'm going to wrap the stream up here. Dylan, thank you. Willie, thank you as well. I'm sorry you had to work tonight. but somebody's got to work. So that's you, bro. And thank you, Willie, for setting all of this up. And we had a great time here with you guys. And we're going to do this again. Every time we have a big event coming up, let's jump out there. And Project Ascension on JPEG.store. I'm going to copy that link.
Yeah,
Or
there's
that in
about
chat.
20 of those or 19 of those available. So if you want one, if you want a piece of history, go get them.
All right. Link
Yeah.
is
Yep.
over there in the chat. And thank you, gentlemen. That's a wrap.
All right. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us. Cheers.